Good evening, Facebook family out there and friends and everybody that's been following along all day. We've still got a couple of hours to go and give DeKalb County, but we are at $16,665, an amazing amount that you guys have donated so far today. And we'll have more updates next hour. The 9 o'clock hour is going to be our final update here on Facebook Live. But you can still donate up until midnight tonight. 11:59:59 is your last chance to get a donation in. And all donations today are proportionally matched by the bonus pool, which is currently over $200,000. So your donation goes even further today. So let's take a look and see who's donated just in the last hour since our last update. Big thank you to our donors here: Frankie DiCascio, Joseph Pasteris, Corey O'Graff, Leo Tered, I believe is how it's pronounced, Tard, Don and Leanne Rastron, my aunt and uncle, big thank you to them, TB Halverson, another anonymous donor, Janine and Kurt Thurmeyer, and Jody Deal. So a big thank you to all of those donors that have contributed here in just the last hour, helping us get to our goal. Again, our goal today is $25,000, and we still have time to get there, so please contact friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, strangers at the store. Tell them about why you support the Egyptian Theater and get those donations. You can do that by going to lightscameradonate.org and make your donation online. Now, our last special guest of the day is getting ready upstairs with Janine in our new expanded foyer. The DeKalb School District Art Show was in here today, and we've cleared them out of the way to be able to do our interview up there with a very special guest from WGN that's going to be here on this very stage later this month. Let's send it up to Janine upstairs.
Thank you so much, Alex, and I am so excited to be here virtually with our next guest here. You may recognize him from WGN, but you'll soon recognize him right here on our stage. Let's welcome Pat Tomasulo. Pat, thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you. It is my pleasure to be here virtually as well, because DeKalb is far, and I didn't want to make that drive twice.
No,
so
that's absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, tell us a little bit. So you've kind of got a really interesting career, because a lot of people may know you more on the TV side of things, but you've been venturing off and starting a stand-up career. How has that been?
Yeah, no, I've actually been doing stand-up for about 12 years now. So it's it's going great. It's awesome. It's you know, I'm out pretty much every weekend and a couple of nights a week doing shows around Chicagoland and traveling a little bit out of town. But I like to do a couple of really big shows at theaters in the Chicagoland area about 6 to 8 times a year. And your fine establishment is one of the places this year. I'm psyched. I've never done the Egyptian before. So yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Well, we're so excited to have you. So you'll be here on Friday, May 19th. So can you give audiences a little bit of a preview of what to expect, what type of comedy you do? Is it more storytelling? You know, kind of just give an audience an idea of why they should get a ticket and come check you out.
Why they should buy a ticket, because I'm getting a tremendous door deal. So the more of you who buy tickets now. Yeah, it's going to be an hour of comedy. I'll bring an opener with me. I'm glad you brought that up, because I don't think I've booked an opener yet. I should probably get on that. But it'll be one of my pals coming in and doing about 20 to 25 minutes, and then I'll do an hour. And then, you know, gosh, as far as my comedy style, it's not a ton different from the personality that you see on WGN. It's very sarcastic. It's very observational. Talking a lot about, you know, societal stuff and a little bit about my family and my marriage and stuff like that. But all pretty relatable stuff, I guess. But with a little bit more of an edge that perhaps I am allowed to show on over-the-air local television.
Very fair. So you say you've been doing this for 12 years, getting out to different theaters and venues across the Chicagoland area. So today for Give DeKalb County, we're fundraising for our nonprofit theater. As someone who's now been aware and been parts of many different venues and theaters across this area, why should people donate? Why should people support local art venues and local performance venues?
Well, I think, it's I don't think there's any underestimating how important arts are to a community. And a lot of times for some people, those are the only shows and the only entertainment like that they have access to, right? Like not everybody can get to Chicago and spend, $120 on a show plus parking and gas and all that stuff, and you need local theaters so people can get exposed to arts that otherwise might not be able to, especially young people. Not that there are a ton of them at my comedy shows, but their parents love the shows. But yeah, I mean, it's just important to it's kind of a nurturing ground for a lot of young performers too, and a lot of young people to really be exposed to arts.
Well, you talk about doing stand-up for 12 years, and I saw that you've been with WGN since, the early 2000s. Were you someone that got...
2005.
Woo! You're coming up on, is that 20 years? I'm not putting a number or anything, Pat.
Yeah,
but...
I could have committed armed robbery and got a lighter sentence than I've served.
But did you grow up as someone who had arts in your life, or how did that come to be that, being in front of a camera?
Not at all.
So what brought that out in you?
My family was not very artsy at all. I grew up in a very blue collar area, in a very blue collar family. I was the first person in my family to go away to college, so I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like, arts were so far from my mind. I was like, I just need a job that's going to pay the bills. And then I stumbled upon TV when I was in college, and I was unnaturally good at it right away. Like, it was just easy. Like, most people couldn't even read off a teleprompter. I was like, all I'm doing is reading. This is the easiest job in the world. And then, so I that was my big risk. And then when I came to Chicago, I always wanted to do stand-up, but I had no idea, how to go about that. I had no idea what a career in the arts was. And if I had been exposed to it at a younger age, I think I probably would have pursued it a lot earlier in my life, right? I think that would have been something that was a part of my life a lot earlier. So yeah, I think it was kind of one of those things where it was something I always wanted to do and never really thought I could do, right? It just seemed so unattainable. But then when I came here, the comedy scene is so robust. Back then, I started doing stand-up in 2010. It was mainly improv, but the stand-up scene has just exploded in Chicago since then, where I would say it almost rivals the improv scene.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Chicago for their improv with Second City. You look at any SNL or any improv alum, you're like, oh, they've absolutely been on Second City. So it's very interesting to see that the stand-up side is really taking a footing here in Chicago. But I know you're also incredibly philanthropic. You support the foundation that I know with a health affliction for your wife. So can you talk a little bit about, as you've, achieved things in not only in your career at WGN, but now with your stand-up comedian career, what that means to give back?
Yeah, I mean, we started doing, our fundraiser is called Laugh Your Face Off. We started that in 2015. My wife has a very rare, incurable, debilitating chronic facial pain disease called trigeminal neuralgia, which is a pretty devastating diagnosis, and there's no cure for it. So I'm part of a foundation where we raise money for research, and Laugh Your Face Off is our biggest fundraiser every year. We're doing it on September 23rd this year in Chicago. If you want tickets, go to laughyourfaceoff.org and sign up for the email list. But it was one of those things where you're very powerless in dealing with the disease like this. And once we found out that there was a group funding research, we just felt like it gave us a little bit of control, and it gave us a little bit of a say in her health. And I think it's one of those things, that's a big thing, putting together a fundraiser, but all fundraising efforts don't have to be that big. I think a lot of times we have a tendency in this society, especially now, to complain about our problems and to complain about everything that's wrong and expecting that somebody else will take care of it, and not wanting to do any of the work yourself. And I firmly believe that, like, if 95% of the people who sit on Facebook all day and complain and moan about the state of things all day got off their asses one day a week and did something as simple as working at like a food bank, like the differences that could be made would be tremendous. So I think everybody should be involved with something. There's no excuse not to be, really, for most people at least. And so that's kind of the idea I've taken, that if there's something that you can do, you got to get out there and do it. If it's a cause that's near to you, make that your thing. If it's, going out and finding a cause, do that. But I just think that the greatest differences in the community come from people, not from anybody else.
Very well said. We completely agree. So thank you so much for sharing why you're philanthropic, how we can come and see you here right on our stage on May 19th, and stopping by on this Giving Day of Give DeKalb County. So you hear it, you can make a difference. People make the difference here in this community. So donate today. Pat, anything else you want to add before I let you go?
No, just that I'm looking forward to seeing everybody May 19th. We're going to have a wonderful time. Tell all of your friends, tell your friends to tell their friends, and let's sell this baby out.
Fantastic. Well, come on and see Pat here right on our stage May 19th and give today during Give DeKalb County. Let's send it back to Alex in the studio.
Thank you so much, Janine, and thank you, Pat. We can't wait to see you here on our stage in just a couple of weeks. So as they said, you can get your tickets online if you're interested in coming to that show. But what we really want you to do online right now is go to lightscameradonate.org and make your donation online to help support the Egyptian Theater so we can continue bringing fantastic programming to the greater DeKalb community. So just during that interview, our numbers have gone up again. We're currently at $17,120 of our $25,000 goal. Over 120 donors have contributed so far today. We're at about 68% of our goal, so we're getting close. And again, you've got till 11:59 tonight, up until midnight, to get your donation in to be proportionally matched with a bonus pool of over $200,000. So please, we appreciate everyone that has donated so far. If you've been thinking about it and we're going to do it earlier, haven't done it yet, now is the time. Head online to lightscameradonate.org, get that donation in, and join us in continuing to support the Egyptian Theater. So Janine and I will be back here live at 9 p.m. for one final live update, but that doesn't mean the giving stops through the end of the night. So we'll see you here in an hour, and keep on giving. We'll see you soon.